And our next adventure is to walk the trail of 100 giants. And here we are at the trailhead. Just looking straight up. And then you can walk right out the other side. This is kind of cool. We got two trees basically growing within each other. So you can see one's coming up, wraps around the other, and goes up, makes a left-hand turn, and continues to grow up. This tree's pretty cool because these are woodpecker holes that you can see here. This tree looks like two trees as you go up, but then if you look inside, it looks like there's a tree. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch it. It looks like there's actually a tree growing inside the other trees. And then if we go around to the back and look, it actually looks like there's three trees. You can see how it looks like there's one like right in the middle here. And if you look at this tree here, you can see the bottom of it has actually been burned by fire. And then if we go up, it was actually struck by lightning and it's missing the top. Every tree here is more amazing than the next. The base of this tree is probably about 20 feet wide. And then if you look, it's extremely tall. I'm gonna do a further away shot when I get. This is that same tree, and you can see how high it actually goes. This thing's humongous. Here's another unusual arrangement. On the left-hand side, we have a cedar tree, and on the right-hand side, we have a sequoia. And basically they're two separate trees. They have two nutrient systems, but if you look down here, it looks like they're together. So the question is the cedar tree trying to run away from the sequoia, or is the sequoia tree holding on, trying to keep the cedar from falling? If we look right here behind me, what you'll see, it looks like a giant wall, but what this is actually a tree that fell. And what you're looking at this is the roots right here, the base that was in the ground. It's probably about 15 feet tall, about twice as tall, or well, about 12 to 15 feet tall, twice my size. And if you look here, you can see where the actual tree was. That's the rest of the tree right there. And you'll see there's a little kid that's running on it, to give you an idea of how big this is. This thing is huge. And here's another example of how big this is. This is the root here. And as you can see, there's actually some people standing on the tree. But that's just the roots right there after it fell. And there's Tammy. Say hi, Tam. And then this is just more of a view of the trees. They fell actually in 2011. To give you an idea how tall the tree is, I'm standing at the base of the roots and I'm 6 feet tall. So you can see how high this root base is. Here we have another tree that's fallen, and you're looking at the roots. And then as you can see, we've had another tree that actually has grown from those roots. And you can see this one's pretty tall also. And some people say it looks like a peacock. So this tree here fell during a heavy rainstorm in the 1800s. And it fell because the streams alongside it had eroded, and the soil surrounding the roots had basically eroded. And so with nothing to hold it in place, it fell. It's been dead for over 200 years. And you may be wondering why it hasn't eroded. And that's because trees, sequoia trees, contain something called tannin. And that basically slows down the decomposition process. In fact, scientists have found giant sequoias that have been buried in the earth for over 10,000 years and haven't decayed because of tannin. So on this tree here, if you look on the inside, you can see how it's black. And what that actually is, that's the tannin that helps preserve the tree. And if you look over here on the side, it looks like there's almost a bench. So what happened was a branch fell off, and this is basically, it damaged the tree. As the branch fell off, it hit the tree and damaged it. And this is the tree's way of basically healing itself. Just like we form scar tissue or a scab, this is the tree's way of healing itself. And these take over 100 years to form. And that's it for the Trail of 100 Giants. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you ever get a chance, you got to come by and see this place. It is spectacular.